I'm gonna be honest with you, for a minute there it felt like I was not gonna be able to make it to the end of the month. But here we are. Hello everybody, my name is Danny and welcome back to my channel. Today, the day that you are seeing this, assuming you watch it the day it goes up, is December 31st, 2022, and so I am here to talk about all of my accomplishments from the past year. I made this video last year. I don't think I made it in 2020. I might have. I don't remember. This is not the first time I've done this. I think it's just a great way to reflect on the previous year and all of the great things that have happened. And I did not script this, so we're just gonna wing it and hope for the best. So we're gonna start with writing, just because it seems like an easy category to do. So in January and February, I was working on my lesbian biker Inferno story. It was basically a retelling of Dante's Inferno, but the main character, like the Dante figure, was a butch lesbian and the Virgil figure was her sentient motorcycle. And like, I had so much fun with that, but then Meatloaf, the singer, unfortunately passed away, and his music was a huge inspiration for that story, and so I found myself not wanting to work on it, but I still managed to, get through so much of the story process. Like, I was outlining it, I got like the whole outline of the first part figured out, I did a little bit of drafting, a lot of character work, I did some like minor translations myself, like not from the original like old Italian that Inferno was originally written in, but like modern Italian. I was like looking at it to kind of like figure out my own interpretations of it, and I thought that was so much fun. And I do want to return to that story in the future. It's just not something on my plate anytime soon. After that, I worked on Dragons No Dragons from March all the way until October. And that was from not like the initial inception of the idea, but pretty close to it. It was all of the character work and relationship figuring out stuff, my world building, coming up with names of people and places and magic and all of that. And then I outlined it, and then I did an entire first draft that ended up being like 70k, 80k. Like, it was really long for what my drafts usually are. And like, it also wasn't finished like the last 10 chapters or so. I kind of just ran through it as quickly as possible and didn't really write it. So like, it would have been way longer, but I was running out of steam after working on it for 8 months. Like, that is the longest I have focused on a single project. And so it's good to know that I can do that. Also, I learned that I don't like doing that. Definitely have to give things breaks. And then since then, I did my third draft of Revelry in the Dark, which is a story I started working on in 2020, and now that is off with Marta, who has been there with me not since the beginning. We didn't know each other when I first wrote Revelry in the Dark, but we became friends shortly after that, and she did read the first draft. She's the only person, besides myself obviously, who has read the first draft, and now she has draft 3. She also is one of the people who read draft 2, so she's really been there for me, and like, I very much appreciate her. But like, this is the furthest I've ever gotten a story. Like, Revelry is the only story so far that I've written to have made it past the first draft. Like, I've like made plans to write a second draft, but Revelry is the only story that I've actually got in that second draft, and now he has a third draft, and like, that's wild to me. That is just completely crazy, and I'm so immensely proud of myself. And then I also just have like, they're not really accomplishments yet, but plans on things for 2023 and what I want to write that I'm super duper excited for and I'm laying the groundwork for. Moving into reading, I don't really have like concrete numbers and stuff. Like, I don't know how many books I read. I just know that I've read so much, and I've read a ton of great books this year. I also have DNF'd more this year than in previous years, but sometimes that happens. The only month that I know how much I read was March, because I read 62 volumes of manga in that one month, and like, that's crazy. But yes, I've read so much. I've finished out several series. I've finished out a lot of manga that I was like in the middle of series. I finally read Mistborn after having it on my to-read list for literally a decade, so that's a really big accomplishment. I kept a reading journal and made spreads for everything that I read, and I consider that to be a huge accomplishment, and I'm continuing into 2023 with that. I've got a new reading journal. I do still have to set it up. I have a couple of days before the start of the year though. Yeah, so I consider reading in general to have been a great accomplishment for me this year. I had a great time reading all that I did. And now for the miscellaneous other category, things that I've accomplished that don't have to do with reading or writing. I moved again. I feel like I've moved so many times since starting my channel, but this time my boyfriend and I moved into a place that's just ours. We don't have roommates anymore, and so that's pretty cool. I quit my retail job because it was literally killing me. Like, it was terrible, and I put up with it for way too long. And even though that was in September, so it's been several months, and I don't really have great luck finding a new job, I don't regret quitting that job because it was absolutely the worst, and it wasn't worth my mental and physical health suffering to do that just for honestly not even that much money. But yeah, it's been good not having to deal with that. Also, we adopted kittens. My boyfriend and I have 2 kittens, although I don't know when I can, like, where's the cutoff between kitten and just cat. They're both under a year old, so it's fine. We have Chloe and Gremlin, and they are just the cutest ever. I've featured them in a couple of my videos, so if you've been around my channel for the last few months, you probably have seen them. And I just love them to pieces. I also post about them on my Instagram a lot, so you can follow me there if you want a lot of cat pics. I love my kittens to death. Like, they're so precious to me. And I guess the last thing that I've accomplished has been this, Vetted. I posted a video every day in December, although some of it has been streams, and I only had to cancel one thing. I was supposed to stream with Devacia earlier in the month and had a very bad day that day. I had like a panic attack and it was just like, no, I can't go live in front of a bunch of people, and Devacia was very understanding. We are planning on streaming together sometime in the new year. We'll get to that. Instead I posted a video of my cat, just so I wouldn't skip a day, but like, this was a huge accomplishment, and I am glad that I did it. I'm also glad that I'm taking a 3-week break from YouTube in the beginning of the year. So, and now as we move into a new year, I'm definitely looking forward to all of the amazing things I'm going to accomplish in 2023, both new things and things that have built off of what I've done this year, and I just can't wait for it to come. So make sure to comment down below all of the things that you've accomplished this year so we can congratulate each other and cheer each other on for all the things to come. I will see you guys in January. I will be streaming on, I believe it's the 24th? The second to last Tuesday is my like comeback to YouTube after my 3-week hiatus. Technically, I will also be streaming with Katie Ann on the Troublemakers channel on January 2nd, but like, it's not on my channel, so it doesn't break my hiatus. But yes, and after that I will be back to some sort of regular content. I just need some time off after this crazy month of all of this content. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you in the next one. Goodbye everyone, Happy New Year!